tuning into Nizzy Sports Chat. I'm your host, Nizzy, and in this video, you guys are going to be giving you a little game preview of the Raptors and Heat matchup that's coming up tonight. Kyle Lowry is returning to Toronto for the first time, first game back in T-Dot, man. Should be a good one here. Obviously, the Miami Heat are coming off a big win last night against the Chicago Bulls by a final score of 127-109. Extends their win streak to 3 games in a row. Heat are sitting at a 50-28 record on their season right now, first place in the Eastern Conference. And over on the Raptors side of things, you guys, we jumped over the Chicago Bulls into the 5th seed last night thanks to a little bit of help from the Heat, obviously beating them. The Raptors are sitting at a 45-32 record right now. We're a half game above the Chicago Bulls for that 5th seed right now. We're on a 5-game win streak here, looking to make it 6 games tonight versus the Miami Heat, you guys. Had a bit of a, just a grinded out game versus Orlando on Friday. We're able to squish out the dub there, 102-89 versus Orlando Magic. Raptors are on a nice, like I said, 5-game winning streak right now, looking to make it 6 in a row here. At home tonight, they're 8-2 in their last 10, one of the hottest teams in the league right now, playing outstanding basketball, on both ends of the floor right now, you guys. 21-16 home record, so we've definitely improved that. I believe before this little homestand happened in the last week or so, the Raptors were only about 1 or 2 games above 500 at home. So good to see us 5 games above 500. Obviously, this little winning streak has helped out with that. Hopefully, we keep that ball rolling tonight versus the Heat. They're 23-16 with an away record. So obviously, they're a pretty good away team as well. Like I said, we're definitely going to need to take advantage tonight. Obviously, these guys coming off a back-to-back. If you look at the injury report right now, they have nobody listed on their injury report. Nobody's sitting out for rest at this moment. There's no injury issues or anything going on with the Miami Heat. So it looks like they're going to be locked and loaded and ready for a big-time performance tonight. Obviously, I'm sure they're going to want to lay it out all on the line for Kyle Lowry to try and get him a win coming back home to Toronto. So we'll have to see what happens there, you guys, if they do end up resting anyone later on. Like I said, it's pretty early in the day still, so it's tough to know if they're going to end up resting a player or two come tip-off tonight, but we'll have to see what happens there. Over on the Raptors side of things, you guys, we've got Yuta Watanabe, still a game-time decision with the quadricep injury. Malachi Flynn has been moved up to a game-time decision with that hamstring. He has been out for the last couple of weeks. I'm hoping he can make an appearance here in these last few games down the stretch just to get back into a rhythm before playoff time. I do think we're going to need to run a little bit of a backup point guard in the playoffs. I don't think we can run Freddie 42 minutes a night for a 7-game series and have any success to be able to win that series. I think that'll just absolutely ragdoll Fred VanVleet. He'll be so exhausted, in my opinion. I think we're going to have to run a little bit of the bench unit in the playoffs, you guys. Keep Freddie around that 30 to 35 minutes a night, in my opinion. So I think Malachi Flynn's definitely going to be somebody to look at these last few games if he can get out on the court and see how he performs. Because if he does do a good job, we'll definitely be able to utilize his abilities in the playoffs, you guys, coming off the bench, giving Freddie a little bit of rest there. So we'll have to see what happens on that front, you guys. Right, real quick, before we start breaking down the keys to victory in this one, if you guys can go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this, go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Been getting a lot of support on the channel lately, you guys, and I greatly appreciate it. We're going to keep coming out with as much content as possible for you guys. But without further ado, man, let's go ahead and start breaking down the keys to victory for this game here. For the Raptors here, you guys, like I said, with Kyle Lowry's return to Toronto tonight, it's going to be an emotional evening for us Raptors fans, as well as probably some of the ex-players that he's played with. Kyle Lowry himself, it's obviously going to be a big tribute to him pre-game, I would assume, as well. So I think the biggest thing here is just not getting too caught up in the moment. The Raptors still got to understand that there's a game to play tonight, and we got to make sure we take advantage of a tired Heat squad that just ended up having a tough, not a super tough matchup last night versus the Bulls. They did beat them pretty handily, but they did have their full starting lineup out there. They did not rest anyone yesterday, so they're definitely going to be coming in a little bit winded here tonight. So like I said, we just can't allow the whole emotions of everything going on with the Kyle Lowry situation to affect our game. We got to go there and jump on them early and often, in my opinion, and just take advantage of a team that, like I said, played last night. We're going to have the fresher legs in this one, so we got to run that floor. That brings me to my next key to victory here, you guys, is just the fast pace of the game. We got to make sure we're running the floor, sprinting the floor when we get those defensive rebounds, getting those transition buckets. Like I said, with Miami on that second night of a back-to-back, that's going to be a huge advantage for us, especially since we're one of the best teams in the league when we get out and run in transition. So we definitely got to use that to our advantage tonight and tire these guys out early in the first half there. So that way we can kind of pull away a little bit in the second half of this game, you guys. But we'll have to see what happens there. Like I said, I don't know, too, if they're going to sit out some people. I would not be shocked if a couple guys end up hitting hitting the injury report, just sitting out for rest for the Miami Heat as we get closer to game time here, you guys. And then the last key to victory I have for the Raptors having a successful evening, trying to get a dub here tonight, you guys. I do think it's going to be a close game. Within a matter of 3 to 5 points here. So I think one of the keys to victory for the Raps is going to be hitting the free throws. Obviously, we're kind of up and down all season. Some nights, we'll shoot 95%. We'll only miss 1 or 2 shots from the line. And then other nights we're shooting 60% from the free throw line. So we need to find a little better consistency there as a squad, especially with the playoffs coming around. You can't have those games where you shoot 90% from the line one game and then you shoot 60% the next game. Those games where you shoot 60% from the line in the playoffs, those are going to end up being losses, especially when the games are usually decided by a matter of 3 or 4 points or 5 points in those playoff games. So it's going to be crucial to hit the free throws when you get them. And we'll start off with a big time playoff caliber matchup tonight. We've got to make sure we're hitting those free throws, you guys. I think it's, like I said, it's only going to be a 2 to 3 point margin here for the game. I expect it to go wire to wire in this one. So yeah, I definitely think we need to hit those free throws, and I think that's going to really help us out to be able to close the door later on in this game to seal the victory against the Miami Heat here, you guys. Yeah, so it should be a real good game tonight. Like I said, the Raptors are looking for their 6th win in a row here. The Heat are looking for their 4th win in a row. It's going to be an absolute slugfest. 2 of the better teams in the Eastern Conference going head-to-head right now. Like I said, I really hope the Raptors can win this one because that vaults us, solidifies us in that 5th seed with a game lead over the Chicago Bulls. If we were to lose tonight, then I believe we fall back into the 6th seed because Chicago's got the tiebreaker over us, and then we'd end up being a tie record with them again. But if you go ahead and look at Chicago's schedule down the stretch here, they got a lot of tougher opponents. Every single team they have left on their schedule, I believe, is a playoff team right now, whereas the Raptors got a couple easy ones. I think we got the Houston Rockets and the New York Knicks as our last 2 games. So those should be some easy dubs there. And then I believe we got Atlanta and Philly after Miami here, so hopefully we can win one of those 2. I did think, too, you guys, this was my bad. I thought the Miami game today, and then I thought Atlanta actually played us tomorrow on a back-to-back, but when I was scrolling through my app there, I realized that there's actually no games in the NBA tomorrow, and it starts back up on Tuesday, so that Atlanta game's not till Tuesday, so that actually benefits the Raptors a little bit. That means Fred VanVleet will most likely be playing versus Atlanta, which he probably wouldn't have been playing versus Atlanta if the game was tomorrow. But yeah, that's just my bad, you guys. I just must have missed that, obviously. I'm assuming they're not playing tomorrow because the NCAA championship is going on. I believe you got Kansas versus North Carolina. North Carolina knocked out Duke last night. So those guys are playing their championship game tomorrow. So I'm assuming that's why there's no NBA games. They probably want to have all the focus on the NCAA championship. So that's my guess anyways, you guys. But nonetheless, that actually benefits the Raptors even better. Because like I said, I thought we had that back-to-back coming up, and now we get that extra added day of rest tomorrow, which is going to benefit guys like Fred VanVleet to be able to go out there and perform against the Atlanta Hawks coming up on Tuesday, you guys. So should be a good little stretch run of games here. 5 games left to go. I would say the Raptors need to go 3-2 over the next 5 games, and we will be able to lock up that 5th seed. Because I believe the Chicago Bulls got 4 games left on their schedule. We got 5. So if we could go 3-2, that would force Chicago to go 3-1 over their next 4 games to be able to take over that 5th seed. I can't see Chicago going 3-1 with this caliber of teams they have to play. At best, I see Chicago finishing off the rest of the season 2-2. So like I said, if the Raptors can just finish off the season 3-2, I have a good feeling we'll be able to clinch that top 5 seed there, you guys, which is looking real nice right now because we'll have the ability to hopefully play the Philadelphia 76ers in that first round. I have a lot of confidence playing them. I really don't trust them in the playoffs. They really got a lot of their bench depth and scoring depth traded away, obviously. Huge pieces in Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. I think those were massive pieces for them that they lost. Huge quality role players on the Sixers team that are now huge quality role players on the Nets. And they didn't really replace any role players. The only thing they really got in return was James Harden. And we know what his streak is like in the playoffs, not very good. Joel Embiid is obviously going to show up, but most of his points come from the free throw line in the game anyways. He hasn't really been impacting the game on the defensive end of the floor as much either. So I think that could be a very advantageous position for the Raptors if we get the Sixers in the first round. We just got so many dogs on our team that are just willing to grit and grind it out a lot better than they are. I think we got a lot better role players as well. Like I said, they're pretty much a two-man team between James Harden and Joel Embiid. If both those guys don't go off for 25, 30 points a night in the playoffs, they're probably not winning those games. So I definitely think we could take the Sixers in probably 6 or 7 games for sure. So that's my hope, you guys. I hope we end up meeting up the Sixers in the first round. I think if we get the Celtics, I think we're going to be in a tough one there. I think the Celtics are a pretty good team right now. And we usually get shit luck with the refs when we play the Celtics as well. So I definitely would rather face the Sixers in the first round. But we'll have to see what happens there. Nonetheless, I'll just be happy the Raptors aren't in the play-in if we get into the top 6 seed there, you guys. But a little prediction for tonight's game before we wrap up this video, you guys. I'm going to go 115 to 112 for the Raptors. I feel like it'll be a little bit higher scoring game just because the Heat did play last night, so I don't know how good their defense is going to be. I think they're going to have to score a bit of points here to keep up with the Raptors in this one. Like I said, Raptors are coming off a day of rest here. Heat played last night, so should be an advantageous situation for the Raptors, you guys. I'm going to go 115, 112, like I said, for the Raptors here, extending that win streak to 6 games, solidifying our spot for that 5th seed by a game. So fingers crossed the boys can get it done tonight. Should be a great game. Can't wait to see Kyle Lowry back in Toronto. Should be a good one, you guys. Would love your guys' opinion in the comment section down below. What do you think our chances are of the Raptors taking down the Miami Heat tonight? And what do you think our record is going to be come the end of the season, you guys? I got a feeling we're going to go 3-2 here, so I'm going to go 48-34, the final record for the Raptors. Would love your guys' opinion on that in the comment section down below. That pretty well wraps it up for this one, you guys. Thanks so much for watching this video. Please go ahead and like this video if you like sporting content like this. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you're looking for more sporting content like this in the near future. Thanks again, you guys, for watching, and this is Nizzy Sports Channel.